Power. The world of power has the dynamics of the jungle. There are those who live by hunting and killing, and there are also vast numbers of creatures who live off the hunting of others. Friends, time is precious and life is short. If you try to do it all on your own, you run yourself ragged, waste energy and burn yourself out. It is far better to conserve your forces, pounce on the works others have done, and find a way to make it your own. You don't have to look far to spot this law. Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders letting his brothers do the grunt work for him, while he takes all the credit. Or Frank Underwood letting this editor called Zoe write things up to advance his cause. This law can be spotted virtually everywhere. People who pursue the dark side of power aim for domination and control over others. They see powers as an end, not as a means toward an end. They use people to advance their own agenda. And unless you are living in a destabilized environment where corruption is the primary ruling force, you do not want to use this law to the definition that is given. It is a losing strategy. And in this video, I'll tell you exactly why you'll lose the game of life entering, breathing and living with a literal adaptation of mindset of this law, and I'll provide you an infinitely better one that not only advances your life, but also of the people you care about. If you don't listen to that, you are warned. Laws of Power. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Use the wisdom, knowledge and legwork of other people to further your own cause. Not only will such assistance save you valuable time and energy, it will give you a godlike aura of efficiency and speed. In the end, your helpers will be forgotten and you will be remembered. Never do yourself what others can do for you. Mike and Katrina are forced to work together. They are both hired by Harvey Specter and have bad blood between each other. After they have done what they are supposed to, this is what happens.
Excuse me, Harvey, do you have a minute?
You got here just in time. I'm getting us access.
Hanley Folsom? Bingo.
Well, then you're too late.
What?
Katrina gave me the subpoena an hour ago. Guess it's a good thing Jessica put her on the case after all.
When people steal from me, I take it personally. You diverted Rachel and then you pursued my idea yourself.
Your idea? No, you said we needed to fly. So I built an airplane.
And then flew it right into Harvey's office just in time to take credit.
I offered you a chance to work together. You didn't want to take it.
Friends, we will continue this scene later in the video and I'll exemplify exactly the danger of this law and why I highly urge you to be careful when you use this. But first, what precisely are the keys to power? The world of power has the dynamics of the jungle. There are those who live by hunting and killing, and there are also vast numbers of creatures like hyenas, vultures, who live off the hunting of others. These latter, less imaginative types are often incapable of doing the work that is essential for the creation of power. They understand early on though that if they wait long enough, they can always find another animal to do the work for them. Do not be naive. At this very moment, while you are slaving away on some project, there are vultures circling above trying to figure out a way to survive and thrive off your creativity. It is useless to complain about this or to wear yourself ragged with bitterness. Robert says that it's better to protect yourself and join the game. Once you have established a power base, become a vulture yourself and save yourself a lot of time and energy. This is the essence of the law. Learn to get others to do the work for you while you take the credit and you appear to be of godlike strength and power. If you think it is important to do all the work yourself, you will never get far and you will suffer the fate of the Teslas of the world. We'll get to him in a second. Find people with the skills and creativity that you lack. Either hire a team while putting your own name on top of theirs, or find a way to take their work and make it your own. Their creativity thus becomes yours, and you seem to be a genius to the world. There is another application to this law that does not require the parasitic use of your contemporaries' labor. use the past, a vast storehouse of knowledge and wisdom, built on top of the achievement of others, and as Isaac Newton called this, standing on top of shoulders of giants. The vast majority of today's politicians don't write their own speeches. Other people do the work, but they take credit.
I want you to write the speech, every word.
Yes, sir.
I read the draft.
And?
I wouldn't change a thing. How many of you drove to church? And let me stop by asking, how many of you drove to church here this morning?
How many of you drove to get to church here this morning?
That we didn't matter.
That we didn't matter. And of course, I was a white boy.
And how many of you remember 1973, when gas prices were as bad as they are today?
Now, how many of you remember 1973? I hope that you will place your trust in me to help continue to lead this country as we have led this community together. Thank you all very much.
Or how about authors who write about ancient wisdom? They learned, and I hope you will too, to use knowledge of the past. When you do this, you will look like a genius, even when you're really just a clever borrower. Their wit can be your wit. Their skill can be your skill, and they will never come around to tell people how unoriginal you are.
I didn't write my first book. My friend, one who died.
He wrote it?
In the hospital, he asked me to destroy it. It's too good. It needed to be finished, so I finished it.
And took all the credit.
Oh yeah, it's my part, the ending. That's what people remember.
Friends, you can slog through life, making endless mistakes, wasting time and energy, trying to do things from your own experience, or you can use the armies of the past. As the great Otto von Bismarck once said, fools say that they learn by experience. I prefer to profit by others' experience. Friends, if you live in a ghetto or on an off chance in a third world country, then this law can be extremely valuable. People around you are living to survive. You think about making ends meet for today. Tomorrow, that's a worry for them. I get how inclined and even how using people might ensure your survival. However, if you live in a thriving environment, in the vast majority of Western society, you will lose when you are using people. Remember the Suits video we saw earlier? This is the continuation, and also why I'm telling you to not use this law in its literal sense.
No, you said we needed to fly. So I built an airplane.
And then flew it right into Harvey's office just in time to take credit.
I offered you a chance to work together. You didn't want to take it. Either run to Harvey and tell him your little tale of woe, or get to work prepping for Folsom, like I am.
We need to get to that smoking gun before Katrina does.
She already found it. Katrina gave it to Missy Dietler to make copies. I'm sure it's already in Jessica's hands by now.
She's gonna take 4 coffee breaks before she's done, which means it's probably still in the copy machine right now. She probably already scanned them.
You're talking about stealing someone's work.
Someone who lied to you, stole from me, and made us both look like fools.
What the hell are you doing here?
We can win Parkville.
This is the key to everything.
You stole my discovery, and you know it.
Oh, you mean that piece of paper that I turned into a strategy, or as you like to call it, an airplane?
I put my toe over the line. You obliterated it.
So after Katrina took credit in the beginning, Mike retaliated. Katrina learned the next time she needs Mike, she doesn't have his force with her. She created an enemy out of this, and to Mike's credit, he used an extremely powerful tool and law to disarm Katrina. Law 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. Do not be a short-term thinker. Think long-term. People should benefit being with you, not extorted. If you truly want to be a high-status, powerful being, your primary aim is to better the people around you. And this brings us to the ethical variant of this law, which ensures your power or granting power to other people. Create a win-win situation. Join forces and win not only one situation, but many more to come as you work on each other's strength. In 1883, the young Nikola Tesla was working for the European division of the Continental Edison Company. He was a brilliant inventor. His direct superior urged him to go to America and meet Edison in person. So he did. And the famous inventor hired him on the spot. Tesla now had to find ways to improve the primitive Edison dynamos. Edison told Tesla, "There's $50,000 in it for you if you can do it." So Tesla worked day and night, 18-hour days, blood, sweat and tears, exhausting himself until finally, a year later, he went to Edison to break the good news and receive his $50,000. As pleased as Edison was, he told the young man, "Tesla, you don't understand our American humor." And instead of the $50,000, he offered Tesla a small raise. Later, when Edison refused to support and actually sabotaged his research on altering current,
transformation and distribution of energy by means of alternate currents.
Westinghouse. George Westinghouse.
Tesla went on to work for Westinghouse. And Westinghouse completely funded Tesla's research and offered him a generous royalty agreement on future profits. The AC system Tesla developed is still the standard today, but after patents were filed in his name, other scientists came forward to take credit for the invention. Tesla's name was lost in the shuffle, and the public came to associate the invention with Westinghouse himself. Tesla, again, got cheated out of his credit for his work and payment of royalties. The financiers had divested Tesla of the riches, the patents, and essentially the credit for the greatest invention of his career. Interpretation. Nikola Tesla believed science had nothing to do with politics and claimed not to care for fame and riches. But as time passed, this ruined his scientific work. Why, you might ask?
We don't have any other investors.
Why would you? My father has a 51% share of your patents.
Tesla was not associated with any particular discovery, so he couldn't attract investors to his ideas. Others stole the patents he had already developed and got the glory for themselves. Tesla wanted to do everything on his own, but merely exhausted and impoverished himself in the process. Edison was more political. He wasn't much of a scientific thinker or inventor. He was really a businessman and publicist, spotting the trends and the opportunities that were out there, then hiring the best in the field to do the work for him. Perhaps you've heard of the phrase, the A students work for the C students. And what I just said, that's what it boils down to. In the end, Edison's name is much better known than Tesla's and is associated with more invention. So, the lesson is twofold. Robert Greene writes, first, the credit for an invention or creation is as important, if not more important, than the invention itself. You must secure the credit for yourself and keep others from stealing it away, or from piggybacking on your hard work. To accomplish this, you must always be vigilant and ruthless. Keep your creation quiet until you can be sure there are no vultures circling overhead. Second, learn to take advantage of other people's work to further your own cause. Reversal of the law. There are times when taking the credit for work that others have done is not the wise course. If your power is not firmly enough established, friends, real quick, thanks a lot. It is mind-boggling to me how quickly you guys are liking the video, commenting, and in the past month we gained over 700 new family members in this channel. But if you're new here and you're deliberating on whether to subscribe or not, the goal of this channel is to give you the tools and strategies that you can implement in your life so you can achieve your desired goals and dreams and maximizing your potential. If that is something that resonates with you, consider subscribing so you don't miss out on these videos. Friends, thanks again. By the way, I do polls on my Instagram for what the next video would be. You can vote there and the one with the majority of votes will be the next video. So check it out and let's continue with the video. Reversal of the law. There are times when taking the credit for work that others have done is not the wise course. If your power is not firmly enough established, you will seem to be pushing people out of the limelight. Robert writes, to be a brilliant exploiter of talent, your position must be unshakable or you will be accused of deception. Be sure you know when letting other people share the credit serves your purpose. It is especially important to not be greedy when you have a master above you. Take credit for the work of those below you, while graciously giving credit for your own labors to those above you. As Frank Underwood put it.
Generosity is its own form of power, Zoe.
Now friends, that is the way to play the game. But I advise you, instead of using this law to its literal sense, create a win-win situation. Join forces and win not only one situation, but an innumerable amount of situations by working off each other's strength.